Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari ST A to Z, a series of short playthroughs of Atari ST games, some of which I grew up with, and some which are new to me. Today's game is Ultima 2, Revenge of the Enchantress. Now the Ultima series is not one I've really had a lot of contact with over the years, because when it was current, I didn't really sort of get what role-playing games were and that sort of thing. Nowadays, I'm a big fan of role-playing games on consoles, particularly those from sort of Japanese developers and publishers, and I can now sort of appreciate the influence that the Ultima series and the Wizardry series have had on those games, but I've still never really got around to playing any of them. So I thought it might be an interesting opportunity to try today, given that there seems to be a bit of a shortage of games beginning with U on the Atari ST. Now I don't actually own a copy of this myself, unfortunately, but it's pretty freely available these days. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting game for various reasons. So it was first released on the Apple II in August of 1982, and it was later ported to a wide variety of different platforms, including both generations of Atari home computers. So it also came out on the Atari 8-bit as well as the Atari ST. The Atari ST port made use of the GEM interface, so it supported mouse control and sort of standardized interface elements and so on. This was the only game in the Ultima series to be published by Sierra. Now, as part of the release process, there was a disagreement over royalties for the IBM PC version between creator Richard Garriott and Sierra. And that is actually what led Garriott on to form his company Origin Systems, which then became the source of the Ultima series and all manner of other series of games beyond that. So things like Wing Commander and stuff also came from Origin. Ultima 2's story follows on from the first game. So it concerns the apprentice of the first game's villain, which is a sorceress named Minax, I think. Minax, something like that. And she's causing trouble in time and space. So this provides the opportunity to kind of expand on some of the slightly sci-fi elements that were in the original Ultima. And also, this blend of sci-fi and fantasy was one of the things that was really influential with regard to this series. So those Japanese creators who drew influence from Ultima and Wizardry, one of the main influences from Ultima was this blend of sci-fi and fantasy. And you can particularly see that in games like the Final Fantasy series from Square Enix. Ultima 2 was also a game of a few firsts for the series. So it was the first game in the series to be written in assembly language rather than interpreted BASIC, so it ran much faster than the original release of the first Ultima. And it was also the first game in the series to include a cloth map in its packaging, which became something of a series mainstay after this point onwards. Like I say, unfortunately, I don't have a copy of the original game to show you that lovely cloth map, but yeah, it became a series tradition to have that in the packaging for Ultima games. Right, enough talking. Let's go play Ultima 2, Revenge of the Enchantress.
Okay, here we are with Ultima 2, a game that I've never played before. I've never played the Ultima games in general, really, so this is going to be quite interesting. So, we start by creating a character, who we shall call Maurice. She shall be a fighter and a human, and you have 90 points to distribute. Okay, so let's start by just giving her 10 in everything. So that's not correct. 10. What am I doing wrong? 10. 10. 10. And 10. Right, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 70. 80. 85. 90. There we go. That sounds reasonable. And our adventure begins. So, the way this works, you click in a direction to move in that direction. And to begin with, that's about it. So our first order of business is to find somewhere to get a weapon and armor. Because at the moment we're pretty much naked, which is no good. So we want to avoid getting into a fight at the minute. Oh, that's swampland. We don't want to go in there. That swampland drains your hit points as you walk through them. That blue thing there, that is a time gate. Or a time door, I think it's called, actually. You can hop in there and it takes you to a different era of history. So like a big part of this game is sort of moving between different time periods and seeing what the differences are and where you can find things. That's an orc. We don't really want to fight an orc when we haven't got any weaponry, but we don't really have an option. So, alright, we're set to attack. Let's give him a good punching. Missed. Oh, he's dead. Good. Okay, we can punch an orc to death. That thing over there, that is I think that's a demon. We don't want to go near them, definitely, because they have nasty spells. So let's head off in this direction instead. Oh no, bandits! Come here, and I will punch you to death. Nice. I'm not seeing any villages or towns. Also apparently having great difficulty hitting this guy, and he's not really hitting me back either, which is nice. Nice. We found a tassel. I don't know what that's for, but we've got one. Now at this point you may say, oh Pete, you should read the manual. That will help. I've read the manual. It didn't help. So I think a lot of what you're supposed to do in these early Ultima games is learn stuff by doing. Right, here we are in town. Oh, and it automatically changes you from attack to transact. That's good. So that means you can walk up to someone and talk to them. A guard says, pay your taxes. Town Linda. Alright. What have you got to offer us, Linda? You got a nice bridge. Transport. What do you have to say? Simultaneous motion is impossible. It's not super helpful if you just scroll off the screen, is it? I feel this is something they maybe didn't consider. Can you make that window bigger? No, doesn't look like you can. You can't move them. Nope. Okay, so I guess we just don't know what he says then. Something being freed up to be creative. Would you be looking for a fine horse to ease your journey? Only 52 horses. Horses? Gold pieces. Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, we've got a horse now. Hooray! Now that, in theory, means we can move much faster. The merchant asks, will you buy my apples? Yes? Or maybe no. Maybe no, I will not buy your apples. Can I get off the horse? No, I think I'm just on a horse now. Okay. I can deal with that. Psst. Wanna buy a watch? Nah, I'm good. It's very forward-thinking of them to allow horses in the pub. Looks like it's going to be a scorcher. What'll it be? A tip. Sailors wear blue tassels. No, okay. Give me a cold one. Here you go, and it's on the house. Very kind of you. A lot of thieves in here. Cindy says, girls just want to have fun. Alright, Cindy. Cyndi Lauper, for those who missed the subtle reference. Now, I'd still love some weapons. Whoops. Driving my horse like a drunkard. That's the way out of town. That's an oddly soothing sound effect. What have you got to say, wizard? The wizard chants, Hexipoo, hex on you. I'm glad we had this chat. Will you buy my apples? No, because you're not standing inside a shop. Weapons! Hooray! Give me weapons. You're interested in weapons. Sword, 84 gold pieces. Dagger is 12. So these are in gradually increasing power. So I can actually afford one of the better ones. Let's go for a sword for now, because I do need some armor as well. So let's take the sword. And we can now equip that from the weapon menu. You're not agile enough to wield it. Well, that's helpful, isn't it? Alright then. Give me a shitty dagger. Or a mace. Let's try a mace. You're not agile enough to wield it. Am I not agile enough to wield any weapons? Because that's going to be quite annoying. Okay, I can wield dagger. That's something. A fighter growls, "Look me tough." Good for you. I'm a horse. Alright, that's the way out of town. Let's see if they're selling some armor as well. Maybe over here. The LB in the middle stands for Lord British, by the way. Richard Garriott, the creator of the Ultima series. A cleric preaches, believe! The armory. Right. Give me some leather armor. You're not agile enough to wield it. No, we're good. Right, we got leather armor. Okay, I think we're ready to go out and take on some bad guys. See you later, Linda. Right, so what you do from here then is you explore and you look for dungeons and stuff, and Beyond that, I don't really know. Usual early role-playing game stuff. So, fight monsters, get stronger, get loot, discover new places. Hit him! There we go. 1 experience. We've got a skull key, whatever that is. Epic battle of misses going on here. Ooh, he's doing us some damage. We won though. That's good. Ooh, flickery graphics. This is where we were before, wasn't it? There's a time door lingering around there. Let's hang around and see if we can get through that. So go and visit somewhere new. Oh. Enter time door! Nice thing about this game is it actually has an early implementation of autosave in it. So anytime there's a loading break, it also takes the opportunity to save your game. So if you do die, you can return to that point. What does this say? You can't get off here. Oh, you can get off your horse. And it stays there. Persistence. How about that? The sign reads, Anos, Land of Legends. Okay, so that's the time period we're now in. Board horse. Magic missile. Get out of here. We're being chased by lots of things that want to kill us. Ow. Ow. Oh dear. This isn't going to end well. I'm asleep. I'm dead. Hooray. Resurrect. And you see that returns you to the point just before you enter that last time door. So if entering the time door turned out to be a big mistake, much as we just witnessed, you can then go back and try something else. Another time door here. Let's hang around and wait for that one to come back and see where that leads us. Don't go away. I'm coming for you. Don't disappear. You disappeared. That's precisely what I told you not to do. Come on. Come back. Right, where does this one go? 9 million BC. Alright. Well, let's have a look around. Oh, there's a dungeon there. Alright, let's hop off our horse. Let's kill this dude. Legs, Bell. You cast legs on me, how dare you? Oh, he paralysed my legs, that's what leg spell does. Kill him. Cannot hit him. Running away, are you? Coward! Come over here so I can stab you. If you can stop paralyzing my legs, that would be pretty sweet. One experience for all that. I'm offended. Right, well, let's go have a look in this dungeon. It's dark in here. Ignite torch? No torch is owned. Well, good. Well, this is unfortunate. How do we leave? Revert. Right, so we need a torch before we can go in the dungeon. That makes sense. Let's see where this goes. No, I don't want to come back here. It's scary here. Is there a way we can sneak around them without them noticing or casting nasty spells on us? Just run! Run like the wind, horsey! I'm dead. Oh, this is going swimmingly, isn't it? Right. Anything else in 9 million BC we can do? What's over here? Swamp and an orc. There's a thief. Let's go kill the thief. The thief stole something! What a penis. I shall stab him until he gives it back. Ooh, I got more stuff. Tool, staff, tassel. Alright. Let's get over that swamp even though it hurts us. I don't really know where I'm going. This game must be absolutely massive because you've got the different time periods, and then later in the game you get a spaceship as well, and you can go to different planets. So it all gets a bit Phantasy Star at that point. Although obviously this predates Phantasy Star somewhat, so Phantasy Star was almost certainly influenced by the early Ultima games in many ways. Nice, 4 experience for that. What do these do? Can you use them? You don't seem to be able to do anything with them. Okay. Yeah, this is a game I can see it being possible to put ridiculous amounts of time into. So although its presentation is very simple and its mechanics seem pretty straightforward, there's clearly a lot to discover here. Not much in the way of plot, but then such was the way of things back in those days. Oh, I'm dead. Shit. Okay. I think we can probably leave that there for now. We get the basic idea of what's going on. Any more of that, and I would need to sort of look up some further details on what you're actually supposed to be doing, and like the lay of the land and where to go and that sort of thing, and what those items are for and how to use them. And that's sort of a bit beyond the scope of what we're doing here, but hopefully that's given you an overview of what to expect from Ultima 2 on the Atari ST. I will just point out one interesting little thing that I find quite charming, which is the About menu up here, which is Ultima 2 was originally written by Lord British. It is part 2 of his Ultima saga. In this adaptation, I have attempted to enhance the original flavour of the game by using the gem interface. I hope you're pleased with my efforts. It's just such a nice little heartfelt message from the person who ported it to Atari ST there. You couldn't imagine seeing something like that in a big release today. It's like, ooh, with the PlayStation 4 version, I really tried to enhance the flavour of the game by making use of its unique features. At least partly because modern systems don't really have unique features, but well, that's a conversation for another day, isn't it? That I think we've probably already had at some point. Anyway, let's leave that there for now. That is Ultima 2 for Atari ST. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. New episodes of Atari A to Z are on Tuesdays and Atari ST A to Z on Thursdays. Check out atari-a-to-z.wordpress.com for a full archive. Do please also check out my other projects moegamer.net, where I explore Japanese and Japanese-inspired games from yesterday and today, and videopackgames.wordpress.com, which aims to catalogue the small but well-formed library of the Philips G7000 Videopack computer, also known as the Magnavox Odyssey 2. You can also support my work on Patreon or buy me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.